Adding humor to your copy leads to more sales. Why? Beats the hell out of me. That was an example of humor. Copy with humor is unexpected. And when it's unexpected, it causes people's brains to pay attention. And when they pay attention, they actually read the copy that you're writing and then end up wanting to buy what you have to offer, as long as your copy is also strategic. Now, while I think I'm pretty funny, I'm a copywriter, not a comedian, and you do not need to be a funny person in order to add some of that unexpected vibe into your copy while staying true to your brand's voice. Watch this video until the end. I'm gonna share 4 simple techniques for adding more humor and unexpected into your copy to make your readers pay more attention. Let's dive in. Okay, little interjection before we get to being funny. It's really important that you don't try to be funny first. We need to make sure that your copy is strategic. The funny part actually in my process comes at the very end of the writing process. We need to make sure that you have all the important information in your copy and then it's stated in the language that people need to hear in order to say yes to hiring you first. Copywriting is different from writing jokes. Again, we're not comedians, we are business owners. And if you try to be funny first, your copy might make people chuckle, but it won't lead to any action taking, which is what copy is all about, as I described in this video. Your brain can only focus on one part of the writing process at a time, so it's really important that you don't try to be funny while you're also gathering information, while you're also figuring out what the template is you're going to use, while you're also like trying to figure out what you want to say. That's just way too much for your brain. I actually have another video where I broke down my writing process and it looks like this. It's specific for writing sales pages, but you can use this process to write any piece of copy, and that the funny part is actually gonna come at the very end. The 4 techniques we're gonna use to make your copy more unexpected are surprising metaphors, unexpected examples, cliches with a twist, and breaking the 4th wall. Let's talk about surprising metaphors. I'm gonna nerd out a lot here because metaphors are one of the most amazing and underutilized tools for conveying your point in your copy. Metaphors are so powerful because they link something that somebody already understands, but we're gonna find a surprising example, with the thing that you're trying to express. And that way it can be used as a teaching mechanism. The problem with most metaphors is they become cliche, overused, and people's eyes glaze over when they hear them. Even just that phrase, people's eyes glaze over, is a cliche metaphor. Inside of my product, the Sales Page Kit, I teach a process called the Metaphor Machine to come up with surprising and unexpected metaphors, and I'm going to teach it to you right now. All right, let's talk about how to use this metaphor machine. And even in just creating these slides to show you, I was like, oh my God, this process is so good. So you're going to have 3 sections. It's great to take out a piece of paper and just divide it into 3 columns. The first column is like that concept that's cliche or boring, or that you just want to spruce up with a metaphor that's unexpected. The second column are qualities of that thing or that concept. And the third column is going to be other things that have those qualities. So stick with me here. We're going to start with an example of a career coach that teaches you how to tailor your resume to your dream job. Okay. And that's really important. And so this is the concept that we want to play with here, is like the fact that you need to tailor your resume to the specific job description of the job you want, or else it just feels boilerplate. It's not going to get looked at. It doesn't stand out when people are looking through your resume. So you're trying to convey that point across to this person. So you just kind of, okay, this is the concept I want to create a metaphor for. Now I'm going to go to the next step, which is making a list of qualities of that concept. So this can be tricky, but I think you'll see what I mean when you see this list. So qualities of making that mistake of not tailoring your resume is that it feels impersonal. It feels like just one of the bunch. It doesn't stand out. It sort of like blends in with everyone else's. It makes the person reading it go, oh, like I don't matter. It wasn't tailored to me. So now what we're going to do is we're going to forget about the concept that we're writing about. Forget that you're a career coach. Absolutely just forget column 1. In fact, I wish I just like deleted it here in the next slide. And in the third column, you're literally just going to look at the blue column, the middle column, and just say, what are things that have those qualities? So what are things that are impersonal? What are things that just feel like one of the bunch, or that they don't stand out, or that make you feel like you don't matter? And you're literally just going to make a list of those things. They should have absolutely nothing to do with the original concept. They should have nothing to do with the thing you're trying to explain. That's really important
different here. Some other things that are impersonal is like when you get gifts, so-called gifts from businesses, but it's really just marketing materials. That's so annoying to me. Or like boilerplate, like messages from businesses, things that don't stand out. I was thinking about, it's the spring right now and there's a lot of dandelions around here. I'm thinking like, it's like a field of dandelions. Not a single one of them stands out to me because there's so many and they're all so similar. Or generic questions people might ask on a first date or in a dating app to like, and again, I never did online dating, but to like prompt, it's like, okay, here we go again, right? Nothing is standing out. So that then you look at that list, you brainstorm as many things as you can. I only came up with 3 here, but then you pick the one that you like the best. I like the field of dandelions one. I might do that. So if I say, sending in the same resume to every single job opportunity is trying to get picked out of a field of dandelions, now I have an understanding of why that doesn't work. Because otherwise I feel like you're just asking me to do more work by tailoring my resume. When you explain to me that metaphor, it's like when you stare at a field of dandelions, not a single one of them stands out. You want to be the tulip in a field of dandelions, right? Now I'm starting to get the point. And now we're using metaphors as an education tool.
The second technique is to create unexpected examples. So you're going to take a abstract concept or something you're trying to teach, just like a metaphor. And when you use an example for people, you're going to use an example that's something different. The more specific you get, the funnier it'll be. And you're going to use that instead of a more cliche expected example. So in my last video, I was teaching you how to get ChatGPT to write copy in your voice. And I went through this process of how to get it to understand your voice. And then my final step was that I want you to get it to generate a piece of copy or some kind of content to test how it's going. Now I could have said, all right, let's get it to write a marketing email or let's get it to write an Instagram caption. But instead I used the example of let's get ChatGPT to write a fan letter to Beyonce about the Cowboy Carter album, right? Like that's so specific and so random and unexpected that of course it's going to cause people to perk up and pay more attention. The third technique for adding more humor to your copy is to add cliches with a twist. This one, once I can identify cliches, is really easy. So what you're going to do is grab a piece of writing you already have. If you already have webpage copy or sales copy or email newsletter you're working on or a blog post, take that copy and I want you to scan through that and I want you to find any cliche phrases. These are phrases that people say all the time and I want you to choose a different way of saying it. So you might start the cliche phrase the way it normally is and then you add an unexpected word. So let me give you a few examples. Inside the sales page kit, one of the phrases I use is "for the love of Justin Timberlake," and that is unexpected because people are expecting me to say "for the love of God" or "for the love of all things holy." And so I put Justin Timberlake because then I'm equating Justin Timberlake with God or all things holy, which is unexpected. Another phrase that I often change up is like, "I don't give 2 flying spaceships," and I'll throw in a word that people aren't expecting me to say, which they're expecting me to say something that is profane, which I'll do that, no worries, no problem. But I actually think that spaceships is funnier because it's unexpected. Think about those expressions we say all the time. Holy guacamole. What if you just said holy avocado? Or I remember in one of my favorite shows, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, there's an episode where one of the characters says potato tomato instead of tomato or potato potato or tomato tomato. So it's taking an expression that we hear all the time and changing it enough that people kind of go, huh? What was that? And it doesn't have to make them laugh, but it's certainly going to make them pay more attention. The final technique I want to teach you is called breaking the fourth wall. This is one of my favorite things to do. It's a little bit harder to explain and teach, and it might not apply to everybody, but it's certainly on brand for me, and it's one of the ways that I feel like I'm able to stand out. Breaking the fourth wall is just kind of calling out the thing that nobody's saying. So in marketing specifically, we have a goal, right? I'm not creating this video just for like your benefit. I'm creating this video because I have a YouTube strategy to grow my audience so that I can get more people in my sales funnel and my business will make more money. And of course, I love the fact that you're getting a lot of value out of this video, and that keeps me excited and motivated to keep creating content, but it's not the main focus of why I've decided to do this. So sometimes you can call out the thing that nobody's saying and be honest, and that leads to unexpected. Let me give you an example. I once stumbled on somebody's opt-in offer on their website, and I don't remember who exactly it was, so I don't have it to show you behind me. But on their website, it basically said, get on my email list so I can grow my email list and make more money. And I thought that was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. I remember it because it was unexpected that I immediately got on that person's email list. Now, again, clearly something broke down in their marketing because I don't remember who it was, but that got me hooked because it was so different from what anyone else has said. Now, if everybody was saying that, it wouldn't be funny, it would be annoying. What was funny is that it was calling attention to something that we know everybody's doing, but nobody's willing to come out and just say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Now that we've got the funny thing down, I really want to make sure you've got the strategic thing down, because to be quite honest, the strategy behind your copy is way more important than the funniness and humor in your copy. I have 2 videos that I want you to start with to make sure you've got those foundations. And these are the 2 videos I want you to watch. They're going to really teach you the foundations of becoming a great copywriter. This one here is going to teach you more about what copywriting is and how you actually think like a copywriter. And then the other one is going to go a little bit more into the step-by-step of how to write great copy. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of the new videos I'm creating. And I can't wait to see you in the next one.